I'm Jen Smith with My Pub Lab, and today I wanted to introduce you to a sneak peek of our premium content and advanced training modules and webinars that we'll be putting on the platform very soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know you'll find a lot of value in this content. And as always, we're happy to hear from you and any ideas that you have on upcoming tutorials. Just email us at learning@mypublab.com. Enjoy.
So here's a little sample that I created to show you how to make customized headers. And most of you know how to make a custom header that is going to scroll through the document, as you'll see. In this example, I'm using a play by someone famous. So we have Act 1, Scene 1, and you can enter your header and do your pagination, and that's awesome, and it rolls with it. But then you get to Act 1, Scene 2, and you've got the same header. So how do you create a separate header for each section? Or if you're doing a compilation, Act 2, Scene 1, we still have Act 1, Scene 1. If you have to do a compilation of multiple stories in your books, how do you create separate headers for each section? And section is the key word here. So what we're going to do is, I'm sure many of you have gotten frustrated and tried to go in and just change the header when you get to the section. For example, I'm going to go to Act 1, Scene 2, this, I'll change it, and then go with that. Okay, great. Now we will scroll up, and it's changed the entire document. So what I'm going to show you how to do is, it's a little hack on how to create individual sections. So, unfortunately, the reality is, you cannot do that on an existing document without a lot of work, and you can screw up the formatting. So the best thing to do is start from scratch. If you've not formatted your document at all, then begin with what we're going to do on the new document. But if you already have, for example, if you're a publisher like myself and someone sends you a document and it's perhaps already been formatted, or let's say you just jump right in, you start formatting, and then you realize, oh, I needed to make individual headers for this. The simple way to do that is leave the formatted document alone, open a brand new document, open a brand new blank document, such as this. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by using this as our reference document. There we go. And we know that we're going to have Act 1, Scene 1 goes for 3 pages. Okay. So go here, and honestly you don't even need to count them. I'm going to show this is a much easier way to do it. If you just go in here to your double click in your header, and all I'm doing to activate the header is double clicking on the left side of my mouse in the very top of the page, and you'll see header opens. So write in your custom header. In this case, we're going to do Act 1, Scene 1. Okay. Click down into the document here, double click down outside the header, and it deactivates the header, and you have the body to work with. You're going to go back to your reference manuscript, start at the top, and you're just going to highlight to capture all of the text that you want in that first section. So that's our first section. You stop before you get to the next section. So this is all of Act 1, Scene 1. We're going to copy it. I'm going to go back over to your new document and paste it in. Now all your formatting is there that you originally had. Pasted wrong there. There you go. So all of your formatting is there that was in your first document, as you'll see. Okay? We've got our header up here. We've got our document. Now this comes into the next page. Why does it do that? Because we still had a space. So just delete that. There's no page gone. So you want to make sure there's nothing after this, just the text that you wanted to paste. So all of our text is in here. It's all formatted as it was before. And what we're going to do is go to the scroll to the end, go to where your cursor is. I'm going to turn off our markings so nobody gets confused there. And your marking section is just right here. So we're going to be at the very end of the text that you want to start the new section. You're going to go to Insert, Page Layout, Breaks, down to Next Page. Insert a section break to start the new section on the next page, not continuous, because we don't want these to be added. You'll see you've got one there. All we're going to do is we're just going to go in here. You'll see this says same as previous. I'm going to unlink this. You're going to change this because this is going to be Act 1, Scene 2. I have custom header for the second section. Scroll back up and take a look at your previous section. Still have Act 1, Scene 1. So our headers have remained the same in our first section, and we start a second section. Back to your reference document. And again, you're just going to take and highlight the text that you want to include in that next section, which is as far as we're going. So that's Act 2, Scene 1 after that. We're going to copy that text. This is great too if it's not formatted yet, because then you could just take the sections you want and do this first, then go in and format the actual manuscript. So we're just going to right click and we're going to paste it. Keeping the source formatting, which means all of our formatting is there, and you'll notice that we went from Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 2. We had 2 pages we've pasted, and they're both there now in our Act 1, Scene 2. And scroll up, and Act 1, Scene 1 is still there. Our headers are floating with our text. So now we're back at the end of this. We're going to insert, we're going to do this one more time just so you definitely have the hang of it. We're going to go to our page layout, breaks, next page break again. We're going to go up here. We need to unlink them, make the change. This time we're going to be doing Act 2, Scene 1. So our next section, down into the body, back to our source formatting. We're at Act 2, Scene 1. Just copy that text. Back into the document and paste with formatting. So there you go. Now everybody is in their own little sections. Oops, what do we have here? Sorry about that. I pasted in the wrong place. Act 2, Scene 1. There we go. Act 2, Scene 1, and paste. Act 2, Scene 1. There we go. Okay. So now we got Act 2, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 1. All right, all of our headers are consistent. They're staying where they're going to be. This time, make sure that you save a copy. I'm going to save a sample manuscript. Yes. Okay. So now that you've got your headers, let's talk about pagination and customizing the location. When you go to add pagination, once you have a header, you cannot just go in and insert your page number where you want it. Because if you do, let's just choose one. Where'd our header go? Okay. So what you're going to have to do is, first you have to decide how do you want your header to look. I recommend doing this very first. So if you're wanting headers to be, let's say, the justification to be to the far right, start there. You can go here, you can hit enter at the end, because you'll notice we're using numbers, Act 1, Scene 1. If you add just a page number to this at the end, without using the format of page 1, it's going to look like Act 1, Scene 11. So I'm going to enter to put it on the second line, next line. Then you're going to go to your insert. We're going to go to page number, but we're going to go to current position. This is going to only put that where we want it. In this case, I'm going to choose this one just because I like the way it looks. You have a lot of different options for style, and if you're using Office 365, you can go right here to more page numbers from office.com. You'll notice that's not in mine because I'm using an older version, and that'll give you a lot more styles to choose from. You can also, if you're using an older version like me, you can go into your web browser and just do a search for Microsoft Office page number formats, and you can find something that you can download and use. But in this case, we're just going to go current position. I like this. This will work well for me. I'm going to click that. You'll notice we have page 1, I click out of it, and you'll see where it is ongoing scrolling into my next one for the same section, Act 1, Scene 1, 2. Now I get to Act 1, Scene 2. I'm in a new section. Remember, we made a new section starts. So you're going to have to format each header for each section. Not a big deal. If you've got 5 or 10 of them, yeah, you're going to have to go in and do each one of them. The great thing about that is it also gives you flexibility, because if you want to make a change, such as when I add we're going to go up here and we're just going to justify again to the right. Add this, hit the enter to bring us back down to a new line. Insert, page number, current position. I'm going to choose the same layout. Now look, it's continuous for the document. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, because this is all the same section. Now when I get down to the next one, you'll notice it didn't do it because we've got a new section here, so you'll have to go in and do that one as well. But let's say you don't like it running, or the format for your purposes are not to be continuous pagination for the document, but by section. So I can come in here and I can change this, not to 13, but to 1. So now I have Act 1, Scene 2, and that's page 1. The problem is when you start changing pagination to that, even though you can customize it, you will have to go through and change it in each section. Generally, sections aren't long, so it's not a big deal. But if you're doing a compilation of a book with multiple stories, I have another recommendation for that, but that's in another tutorial. But this is the quick, easy way to do it, especially if you want ongoing running. So we're going to actually change that back. There we go. So this is ongoing throughout the document. If you want to do the individual sections, like I said, that's another tutorial, and we will get into that. And you'll notice that everybody has their own sections, their own headers, and their own pagination. And now you have that lovely little header formatted. So that's how you do it in this system. And if you have any questions, make sure that you contact me, and I'll be happy to see if I can help you out with that. Don't forget to save this document once you've added these before you start going in and making changes, because absolutely play with this if you want a different look. But always save it before you start playing, because the worst case scenario, you have to close it and you already have this lovely little format and everything scrolling through perfectly, and you can just go in to play some more. So I hope that helps. And